All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating framework created by Maddie B. It's designed to help us do something incredibly difficult: stop reacting and start observing. We're going to break down a deeply layered architecture of the human mind and body. And honestly, this isn't just theory or basic psychology, it's about fundamentally rewriting how we experience the entire world around us. So think about this for a second. Imagine if, instead of being like a rat in a Skinner box, just reacting to every single stimulus that comes your way, your mind actually had built in structural safeguards to govern how you process emotion and trauma. I mean, we spend so much of our lives letting our nervous systems run completely unchecked, right? We just react out of fear or pure habit. But what if you could literally write a governing document for your own biological reactions? Well, that is the exact core question that sparked this entire framework. Here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, meet the gray path. Number 2, the 3 operating systems. 3, mapping the musical subweave. 4, the constitutional safeguards. And finally, number 5, witness precedes transformation. Let's get into it. Section 1, meet the gray path. Okay, so what exactly is this thing? Well, the gray path isn't some rigid set of rules you have to blindly follow. It's actually a living, what they call mycelial framework. Think of it like a vast interconnected root system growing under the soil. It's designed to help us shift away from a state of raw, immediate emotional reaction and move into a state of calm, grounded observation. And it's called the gray path for a reason. It intentionally avoids the trap of black and white binary thinking. Instead, it actually holds space for paradox and complexity. I absolutely love this quote because it brilliantly illustrates the entire philosophy of the framework. Before you decide what an experience means, you must first simply observe what your body is actually feeling. You know, we are so incredibly quick to jump straight to the horizon, to instantly assign some grand meaning to our pain or our joy. But this path, it forces us to stay on the foundation first. What is your heart rate doing? What is the raw, unfiltered data of this exact moment before the story in your head even begins? Moving on to Section 2, the 3 operating systems. Now, according to this framework, our coping mechanisms actually evolve through a really clear progression. We start off in what's called the old OS. This is where we run away from our problems. It's pure survival reflex, pure panic. Eventually, we update to the transitional OS, where we try to logically understand our pain and try to hold the tension of forgiveness. And finally, if we do the work, we reach the emergent OS. This is a state where we just stay present with our reality. We stop fighting it, we stop fleeing it, we literally just sit there and witness it. But here's the catch. To move from that old OS of desperate escape into the emergent OS of calm witnessing requires what's called the pivot. This is a literal 180-degree turn where we completely stop fighting external adversaries and instead reclaim all that wasted energy for our own internal mission. It's that aha moment when you realize that the energy you've been spending trying to win arguments or flee uncomfortable situations, that's the exact same energy you need to build your own internal constitution. All right, Section 3, mapping the musical subweave. To really map out this journey, the author used something pretty unconventional: music. The sonic architecture acts as a literal map for the nervous system, moving chronologically from the absolute exhaustion of Phase 1 into the human connection of Phase 2, and finally reaching a transcendent realization in Phase 3. And as you'll see, each of these musical phases corresponds perfectly with those 3 operating systems we just talked about. Take this lyric from the band Under Oath. This acts as the perfect, spot-on diagnosis of the old operating system. It perfectly captures that frantic, suffocating need to just escape when we feel cornered. It is literally the sound of a nervous system stuck in fight or flight mode, desperately looking around the room for the fastest possible way out of the discomfort. So the crucial takeaway here is that the music mirrors our own internal shift. We move from chasing an exit strategy to realizing that true safety comes from becoming an unmoving witness to the storm. Within the gray path, safety isn't found by leaving the room. True biological nervous system safety is found by staying in the room, holding your ground, and observing the chaos without letting it dictate a single one of your reactions. And then we have this capstone lyric from Tool, representing the ultimate emergent OS. It honors those who endure the fire and become living evidence of unconditional love, a pure state of connection that the author playfully calls the Patty Keeks variable. It's the profound realization that you can endure the crucible of life, not by fighting the flames, but by becoming forged by them. It's a massive, beautiful arrival. That brings us to Section 4, the constitutional safeguards. Because this framework is so deep, it needs guardrails. These are the architectural safeguards, epistemic protections, that basically keep the framework honest and make sure we don't accidentally turn a subjective feeling into some absolute dogma. Think about it. If you're going to trust your observations, you have to be willing to revise them. You literally have to ask yourself, okay, what evidence would actually change my mind right now? And if your answer is nothing, well, you're not on the gray path anymore. You're just trapped in your own ego. Now, this next concept, hospitality to difference, is probably my favorite safeguard. It teaches us that when someone strongly disagrees with us, they aren't an enemy. They're actually just a new data point to help that mycelium grow. Divergence isn't an automatic error or a threat to your safety. A framework actually becomes infinitely stronger when it can comfortably accommodate interpretations that genuinely differ from its own. And because we have these safeguards in place, we achieve a state affectionately called the wobble. And this is huge. It means it is totally okay to feel doubt and faith, or intense love and deep frustration, all at the exact same time. You're learning to hold that tension without collapsing into a panic attack. You don't have to resolve every single paradox immediately. You can just wobble, safely knowing your core constitution holds firm. And finally, Section 5, Witness Precedes Transformation. This right here is the gray path cycle, bringing everything down to daily application. It proves you absolutely cannot force transformation. You have to patiently witness the moment first. Notice how interpretation doesn't even happen until step 3. Most of us jump straight from an event to instantly interpreting it. But the gray path forces us to inject this massive, crucial pause, a witnessing phase, right in the middle. And here's why that pause is so critical. By simply offering a safe, non-judgmental presence, whether you're doing that for a friend or just for your own anxiety, you create the biological safety required for genuine healing. People don't need to be solved like math problems. Emotions don't always need to be fixed. Sometimes, literally just the act of being witnessed is what allows the nervous system to finally power down and relax. This realization is exactly why this whole explainer matters so deeply for your own life. The ultimate goal isn't to get perfect apologies or answers from the people who hurt us. It's to outgrow the need for their validation entirely. True closure isn't an exit door you walk through to escape. Closure is realizing you don't actually need the door anymore. You've simply leveled up your operating system. As the symbolic voices driving this architecture remind us, this framework is forever unfinished, forever corrigible, and forever learning. It's a living, breathing practice. So as you step back into your own life today, armed with these new safeguards and this upgraded operating system, I want to leave you with this single powerful question to ponder. What observation comes next?